Well, here we are. It's 2021, and our first candidate has officially come forward. Sarah Maltby is now joining us. Of course, this would have normally been in person, Sarah, but times are different. And, well, I need to start by saying, why have you come out of the traps so early?
A couple of reasons, really. The first main reason is I work full-time. I have two children. It's going to take the time. I really want to get out to meet everybody. And in order to do that, you need to give yourself enough time to be able to commit yourself to standing on the doorstep, knocking, waiting, and then obviously talking to people. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and I wanted to make sure that I fully committed myself to this next 9 months campaign. The second reason, a lot of people might know my family history and might assume, well, oh, it's David's daughter.
David Cretney's daughter. Yeah, but that's pedigree, isn't it?
It kind of comes with, the territory. But I kind of wanted people to meet me, get to know me, find out a bit more about what my values might be, my interests might be, and just basically give people fair opportunity to ask me questions and find out more about me rather than just being David Cretney's daughter.
Yeah, I suppose it's a double-edged sword, that one, but it comes with that, I say, the pedigree, because, I mean, David's always had such a strong vote there. Do you feel you can ride the coattails? I'm not being disrespectful, but is it almost like we like Dad, we'll have the daughter?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, some people have said to me, "Oh, it's like a 2-for-1 deal." I mean, I don't know. I think, like I said, it kind of comes with its pluses and its negatives. People have been very, very loyal to my dad over the 35 years, and I really hope that people can give themselves that as a foundation to what I might be about, but then find time to sort of ask me some questions and talk to me and get to know me a little bit more too.
Can I ask you why you didn't stand at the by-election? Was there any reason for that? It seemed like the logical point to come out, maybe? No?
No, that's absolutely fine. Again, another couple of reasons. I have two young children. One of them hadn't started primary school at the time. I sort of felt that I wanted to get them both into school before dedicating myself to this life of politics. It's I know firsthand the commitment it takes and the amount of time you need to put into doing this, and I didn't want, I'm not going into this faint-hearted, but I know what's expected of me if I was to be elected. Second thing is, I would have to sort of leave my job and then obviously try and stand again next year, and then what would happen if I didn't get elected in the general election? I don't have a business to fall back on or any sort of big pot of cash sort of sitting there waiting for me to sort of put myself forward again. So I needed to make sure that I was in a strong position, which I feel like I am. My family are now at school, well, would be at school. And but I just feel like this would be the better time to sort of put myself out there. And like I said, I was always planning on running from the January, stand in the January and declare in the January, and for the general election. That was always the plan. It's been the plan for a long time, and I wanted to stick to that plan.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of party politics going on, particularly in the House of Keys, has there? I mean, do you stand exactly on the same values as your father, which is what is in the Labour Party, Manx Labour Party manifesto?
Well, it's funny you should ask about the Manx Labour Party manifesto. We're in the actual, we actually are in the process of rewriting that policy document. In fact, we're having Zoom calls every Wednesday trying to get ourselves through this policy document ready for the local authority election in the spring and the general election in September. So watch this space.
Right. So you'll have to sign up to that. I asked that because obviously other parties have had problems with that. You do sign up, whatever the outcome is, you will agree by those ideas and aspirations.
Of course.
So what's the big things that you're hearing on the doorstep? What's the big stories?
Well, lots of mums with babies on hips, telly in the background, all trying to homeschool at the moment, so I understand the pressures that they're kind of going through. But, when I did have the weekend, the opportunity to go out to speak to people, their main sort of problems and worries and concerns are about health, social care, education, exactly the same things that I worry about. I have a young family and face the same pressures as a lot of people in the area that I live in. But I'm not just here for those people. My experience with young adults with additional needs and during the first lockdown period of being a home carer really opened up my eyes to what other demographics of the area are concerned about about. And so I do feel like I kind of have a broad appeal to a lot of different people. And I'm a people person. I like to chat to people. This kind of thing is not my natural territory whatsoever. I enjoy face-to-face contact and really getting to know somebody. And so this is a bit tricky at the moment, because obviously I kind of started us out the traps, like you said, and now I've had to put it on pause a little bit and focus more on my digital social media presence, which I would really encourage people to contact me through social media if they want to. And let's make a start. Let's make a start on this conversation.
So tell me, when you go to the doorstep, what are you saying to people? What are you selling yourself on? What are the big items, headliners?
To be honest, most people, when they open up the door, they're kind of surprised to see somebody already, and then they kind of want to know. Where do I stand on different on education, for example? I mean, I've worked in a school for 13 years. It's quite difficult to sort of avoid that topic, but they kind of want to know what do I feel like I could actually do? What changes could I make? And I go back to what I've just said before, my experience, my knowledge. I'm not just coming into this because I fancy doing it. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And I really feel that I could bring something to the role of MHK for Douglas South if people feel that they would like to vote for me in September.
And looking at the present government as the time of recording this in January, what are your views on what's going on, how it's being done?
I don't want to be another voice that adds to this already chaotic social media storm that's happening. And to be honest, what I would encourage people to do now is to use this time to look on Hansard, find out what your MHKs have already been doing for you in the last 4 years, or last year for the Douglas South by-election. Find out what have they been saying, how they voted, what have they been doing for you in the area. Have they stuck to their promises? Have they stuck to the things they said they were going to do? I would really like people to use this time more productively. Look on the government website, look at those consultations. There's so much information out there that I feel people around COVID, that people are just completely swamped and saturated with it. And if we're not careful, people will switch off and they'll just become completely fed up with it all. So I would like people to be more positive and try and find out, well, what can I do? What can I actually look into now to make more informed choices come September? And
if you could put a bill forward, have you got anything particular in your mind that you would like to see a law change or a new law?
I'm actually really looking forward to hearing the Tim Wood sit in the next week or two. There's lots of juicy, important matters being brought up in that Tim Wood, so I'm obviously going to be watching that with a close eye.
You sound like a very busy person. I mean, you mentioned your family, a young family. Is this something that is going to really be able to, you can commit yourself to, or will you have to do a lot of juggling and babysitting and things like that? I mean, it's awful to have to ask that question to a woman, isn't it, if you think about it? I mean, I probably wouldn't ask that to a man, so it's so sexist. You shouldn't even answer it, really, but you must hear those sort of things.
No, you're absolutely true. When I was obviously going out knocking and people knew I was leading up to this announcement, and they said to me, "What are you doing, Sarah? Seriously, like, you're so busy, you're running between clubs and dropping the kids here, there and everywhere. Like, how are you going to find time for this?" The truth is, it will be a juggle, of course it will, but this is something that I've not been able to get out of my system. You're either born for it or you're not. This isn't just something you can just pick up and just have a go at. And I am completely ready for this. I relish the opportunity to meet people and to get out there and try and be the girl that's on your side. That really is the way. I've always been the same in different jobs and different roles. I've always been the person that stood up and spoke for, and was the voice for the normal working person. And I really hope that if elected, I can continue to do that, and people can trust that what I say is what I mean. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
So finally, a career politician like your father, is that that sort of way of going? If you get in, you would be making this a full-time career, but you see yourself doing it almost as long as your dad?
Yeah, well, one step at a time, Paul. One step at a time. But of course, I'd be lying if I didn't say that's what my goal would be. this is a commitment for life, and I really hope that people can get in touch with me, find out about me, and vote for me in September.
Okay. And which department would you like to be involved in if you got in?
Which department? Well, health, social care, education, they're my 3 priorities. That's where I naturally fit. And so if I was elected, then that would be my main priorities.